The city of Chengdu has played an important role in China's history for thousands of years. It is located in the province of Sichuan, one of the country's leading rice and wheat growing regions. It was under the Qin and Han dynasty of around 316 BC that Chengdu became the political, economic and cultural center of southwest China, as well as a hub for its breeding of silkworms and the weaving of brocade. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Chengdu. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome travel guides and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. So now let's cut to the chase. And at number 10, it's Chengdu Culture Park and the Sichuan Opera. In Chengdu's Cultural Park in the western part of the city stands the old Taoist Qingyang Temple. Although dating from the Tang period of 618 to 907 AD, the present buildings are from the Qing period between 1644 and 1911. Particular highlights include the Pavilion of the 8 Trigrams, with its 8 stone pillars and intricate carvings of dragons and other symbols from Chinese culture. The park is also where you'll find the Shufeng Sichuan Opera House. One of the city's most important cultural destinations, it's home to numerous regular performances of traditional Chinese music and theatre. It's here you'll be able to experience the famous Bianlian, where performers in brightly coloured masks seemingly undergo face changing as they seamlessly swap masks with various expressions with a flick of a traditional Chinese fan. Amazing! Also worth a visit, People's Park is the city's oldest public park and is notable for its many important monuments. The best known is the historic Railway Protection Movement Monument. Next up at 9, the Yongling Museum and Mausoleum. Also referred to as the Eternal Mausoleum, the Yongling Mausoleum is where you'll find the well-preserved royal tomb of Wangjiang, ruler of the early Shu Empire until his death in 918 AD. Located in the northwest section of Chengdu and now a museum, this lovely 15-metre-high building with its 14 impressive archways opened to the public in 1942 and is divided into 3 chambers, the central of which houses the emperor's exquisitely decorated sarcophagus. Other highlights of a visit include a fine stone statue of Wangjiang and detailed murals of 24 musicians carved from stone, the only such decorations of their kind from the Tang dynasty. Next up at 8, it's the Wangjiang Pavilion Park and River Watching Tower. Famous as the location where poetess Zhu Tao lived from AD 769 to 834, Wangjiang Pavilion Park is notable for its splendid 30-metre-tall river-watching tower. Built in 1889, the attraction features the famous old fountain from the Tang period of AD 618 to 907, from which the poetess is said to have drawn the water used to produce the unique red paper on which she wrote, and which to this day still bears her name. Also of note are several other buildings dedicated to her memory, including the Tower of Poetic Recitation, the Pavilion of the Washing of Paper, and the Tower of the Washing of Brocade. Another lovely feature is a large bamboo grove laid out in her memory. All told, the site boasts 140 different species of bamboo, a favourite tree of the poetess. At 7 now, visit the poet's home, Dufu Thatched Cottage. The sprawling Dufu Thatched Cottage complex in Chengdu covers 24 acres and is dedicated to one of China's best-known poets. The site replicates the home in which Dufu lived between AD 759 and 763, and which he wrote more than 250 of his best-known poems. Located on a picturesque bend of the Huanhuaxi River, the complex features lush gardens, numerous pavilions, and lovely bridges and pathways. While not original, most of the buildings date from between 1500 and 1800 and were carefully restored in 1949. Other highlights include the Gongbu Memorial Hall, with its exhibits portraying the life and work of Du Fu, complete with a foreign language section. The reconstructed cottage itself, a simple structure with a study, bedroom and kitchen, can also be visited. So too can the Hall of Great Poets, showing scenes from his most famous poems, including one dedicated to the destruction of the original cottage by a storm. And 6. Take a side trip to Mount Emei and its temples. Mount Emei, dedicated to the Bodhisattva Puxian, stands 160 kilometers southwest of Chengdu and is well worth a visit. The mountain's highest peak, the Peak of the 10,000 Buddhas, reaches a height of 3,099 meters and is revered by Chinese Buddhists as one of the 4 holy mountains, the others being Mount Wutashan in Shanxi Province, Mount Jihuashan in Anhui Province, and Mount Putuoshan in Zhejiang Province. As shrouded in legends and myths as they are in clouds and mists, the first Taoist temples on Mount Emei were built during the Eastern Han Dynasty from 25 to 220. From the Tang period of 618 to 907 AD onwards, it became one of the major destinations of Buddhist pilgrims due to its more than 200 shrines. Some 20 temples and monasteries still survive. At 5, visit the Wenshu Monastery. Covering an area of more than 12 acres, the Wenshu Monastery consists of 5 separate temples built from wood and stone. The complex was constructed in 1691 above the ruins of an earlier monastery dating from the time of the Southern dynasties between AD 420 and 589. Highlights include the Hall of Shuavatang with its 10 iron statues of Buddhist guardian gods from the Song period of AD 960 to 1279, as well as the more than 100 bronze sculptures of Buddhas and Buddhist saints from the Qing era between 1644 and 1911, and many more made from materials such as jade and wood. The site also contains numerous other important cultural relics, including paintings and calligraphy by leading Chinese artists and writers. Be sure to also spend some time enjoying a traditional beverage at the on-site tea house. At 4 now, see the Dujiangyan irrigation system. Constructed in 250 BC, the fascinating Dujiangyan irrigation system is located near the town of Guanxian on the upper reaches of the Minjiang River. Although some 55 kilometers northwest of Chengdu, it's well worth visiting as part of a day trip to this beautiful part of the country. Constructed to prevent catastrophic flooding, this amazing system included a network of earth dams with sections branching out into tributaries and canals to irrigate fields. The system comprises interestingly named components such as the fish's jaws, which functions as a watershed and dike, the weir known as flying sands, and the canal, the neck of the precious bottle. As a result of this ingenious system, the Minjiang hasn't flooded for more than 2,200 years, and the Chengdu plain of central Sichuan has become one of China's most fertile regions. A nearby attraction that's well worth visiting is the Cave of the Heavenly Master, where Zhang Daoling, the founder of the Taoist religion, taught in a cave in Mount Qingcheng-san. The temple dates from the Sui period of AD 589 to 618 and includes a terracotta likeness of Zhang Daoling and 3 statues dating from AD 723 representing Fuxi, Shenggong and Jiang Yuan, 3 rulers said to have lived in China in prehistoric times. A great way to enjoy the Mount Qingcheng-san area while at the same time taking in the must-see irrigation system, along with a number of other nearby points of interest, is the fun Qingcheng Mountain and Dujiangyan irrigation system day trip from Chengdu. After departing your Chengdu hotel, you'll spend a full day exploring some of the most beautiful scenery in the Sichuan region's Qingcheng Mountains, along with its many well-preserved temples. The undisputed highlight, of course, is Dujiangyan. In addition to explaining the workings and significance of this marvelous feat of engineering, your English-speaking guide will also introduce you to great traditional food over lunch. Sounds great. Next up at 3, tour the Chengdu Wuhou Shrine. One of Chengdu's oldest temples, the splendid Chengdu Wuhou Shrine, dates all the way back to AD 302. It was built in honor of Zhuge Liang, a famous strategist and statesman who later served as Chancellor of the Shuhan Empire from AD 221 to 263. For his services, Liang was made a prince. Rebuilt in 1672, this vast temple complex boasts many interesting features. The most interesting include its large central hall with a gilded clay figure of Zhuge Liang. The 2 small figures on either side of the prince are his son and grandson. Also worth seeing is the temple dedicated to Liu Bei, ruler of the Shuhan Empire, who's buried in the adjacent 12-meter-tall burial mound. Other notable features are the 28 terracotta statues of ministers, generals and high officials of the state of Shuhan displayed in the east and west covered walks. There are also a number of ancient inscribed stone tablets featuring poems and writings from this important period in China's history. And now at 2, take a day trip to the Leshan Giant Buddha. The Leshan Giant Buddha, a colossal stone statue of Maitreya, has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1996. Standing 71 meters high and carved directly from the surrounding rock, this amazing feat was started by a Buddhist monk by the name of Haitong in AD 713. After his death, the work was continued by a number of other monks and artists until it was eventually completed in AD 803. Today, the figure is the largest sculpture of Buddha to be found anywhere in the world and attracts pilgrims and tourists from far and wide. It's also responsible for the famous saying, "The mountain is a Buddha and the Buddha is a mountain." One of the best ways to enjoy a hassle-free trip is to book a private tour, such as the first-rate day trip to the Leshan Grand Buddha from Chengdu. Highlights of this popular day trip include an English-speaking guide who will lead you to a few different lookout points from which to view the Buddha, including from an optional river cruise, if you so choose. You'll also enjoy a private tour of Lingyan and Wuhou temples. Included with your trip are lunch at a traditional Chinese restaurant, as well as pick up and drop off from your hotel in Chengdu. And finally, at number 1, feed the pandas at Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding. Now that's cute. The Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding, often shortened to Chengdu Panda Base, not only offers a chance to see these amazing creatures up close in their natural environment, it also provides an in-depth look at one of the world's most loved and laid-back animals. Established in 1987, the facility began with just 6 rescued giant pandas, a number that has since grown to 83 animals and seen some 124 panda births. Tours also include a chance to visit the on-site museum, featuring exhibits dealing with the reproductive problems of these fickle bears. Often found sleeping, pandas are their liveliest during morning feeding times, so plan your trip accordingly. A great way to get the most out of a visit is to join an organized tour, such as the half-day Chengdu Panda Breeding Center tour. If you can, be sure to select the upgraded baby panda holding option for an unforgettable close-up experience of these fascinating and cuddly creatures. Hotel pickup and transport is included. For an even more memorable experience, consider taking the Panda Rescue Center volunteer for a day package. This unique experience allows you to prepare food for these lovable creatures, as well as receive a private tour of the facility. For a chance to see pandas in the wild, book a trip to the vast Wolong Nature Reserve, 130 kilometers west of Chengdu. Covering an area of 2,000 square kilometers, this superb conservation area is surrounded by mountains and is home to 60 different types of mammals, as well as 300 species of birds and 4,000 kinds of plants, including giant redwood trees. Oh, and of course, pandas. And there you have the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Chengdu. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. So, see you next time.